Who will take care of you when you're older? Not your children who have their own kids. My mom is moving in with me because my siblings refuse to take her in. My mom's health has taken a bad turn and it's obvious that she can no longer live by herself. I'm one of 4 children and the only one of my siblings who doesn't have kids. My 2 brothers live within an hour's drive of her and still rarely bother to visit because they're just so busy. My siblings and I have been discussing her care for a while now and I'm honestly so frustrated. They all said the same BS. I love my mom and will help as much as I can, but I've just got too much going on to have her live with us. They won't lift a finger to help. They wouldn't even help when she lives so close to them, let alone when she moves to a different state to be with me. It was basically decided for me that I would be the one to take her in. And honestly, I'm fine with her living with me. I want the best for her and will cherish the time I have left with her. I'm just disgusted by how fast my siblings wipe their hands of it. I have to be the one she lives with because I have room for her, and their houses are packed with children. I have to do it because I have more time and more money. I have to do it because according to them, life as parents is just too hectic to take on anyone else to care for. She needs more care than I can provide, so we've hired a full-time caretaker, which is exorbitantly expensive. Guess how much my siblings are chipping in? $0 frickin' dollars. Every excuse they have ties back to their kids. Fortunately, my mom has retirement savings to help, and I can comfortably cover the rest. I love my mom, I don't resent that she needs me, but this has shown me such an ugly side of my siblings, and I won't ever forgive them for abandoning her like this. The silver lining is I got to say to my sister, remember when you asked who would look out for me when I was older? Well, you better pray that one of your kids has more time for their mother than you do for yours. Spent an hour reciting that in the shower before our FaceTime, but it was the most satisfying moment of my life. Frick them. First off, I'm sorry you're dealing with this, but I'm glad things worked out for you and your mom, siblings being pieces of garbage aside. Secondly, if they can't help now and refuse to chip in, make sure that in the event of her passing, they don't expect much from her. I've seen this before, and the ones that help the least think they deserve the most from the parents' estate. The same excuses that they used to tell you they couldn't help. Kids will be the reasons they think they deserve more from probate. Let them know that crap isn't happening. The passing of a parent is usually a rough time for most, yet I've seen deadbeat family members amplify an already terrible situation by coming out of the woodwork, insisting on their fair share. The ones that help the least will be the most entitled. They think that because they choose to breed, that any money should automatically go to them. It's pretty selfish and disgusting in my opinion, but that's how it goes with breeders. Good on you for helping your mom even though you don't have to. I've come across this situation a few times in the sub, because a common bingo we've all gotten is, who will take care of you when you're older if you don't have kids? Well, kids or not, most times the answer seems to be a nursing home. Lastly, hope you're doing alright, and that everything goes well for you and your mom. This kind of BS is happening to my cousin. She's in her 30s and is taking care of this woman. She's a caretaker, it's her job, and the woman isn't related to her at all. This woman's family has done nothing to help her and are only interested in her for her money when she passes. She has 4 kids, I believe. The lady treats my cousin like family and gives her gifts too. Cousin is not taking advantage of her and she bought her client a bunny. So the stepson sees that his stepmom is giving someone who is caring for her and is all peed off about it. Why? I have no idea. He literally has done nothing for her and treated her like crap. He went off on Facebook about how abusive my cousin is and nearly ruined her career. Not true at all. My cousin had to very briefly quit because of this butthead. And he never hired another caretaker. She went a week in her apartment by herself with no help. My cousin got a call from her and she was begging for help. My cousin went and helped her. Guess who didn't? The stepson who's hungry for his stepmom's money. Her kids are waiting for her to die so they can get their money. They ain't getting crap. So whoever says your child will take care of you when you're older is full of crap. They won't care for you. I hope that she realizes who real family is, but if it's anything like my parents dealt with, she unfortunately won't. My godmother lived near us and her kids in England who hardly come to see her, and my parents sacrificed so much for her. They honestly loved her, so it wasn't a huge deal, but I could see the toll it took. In the end, she told her parents that she would have a word with God and the angels in heaven about how good they were to her, and I'm still a little steamy about it. On the upside, I inherited her table and tea set and some trinkets, but 2 snotty daughters got everything like the sale of the house and her money, which was a good chunk. I don't necessarily resent her, but wish she'd been a little more cognizant of how terrible her daughters were. Yeah, this kind of gets me. My grandmother had 5 kids and split the inheritance evenly, even though 4 of them moved away, and it was my dad who visited her twice a week and brought all her groceries and took her to her doctor's visits, etc. Like, he loved his mom and doesn't resent any of it, but philosophically it kind of irks me. Actually, one of the uncles, we've seen and heard nothing from him since the funeral. Just up and disappeared on the whole family. Don't even know where he lives now. That's true of my dad's side of the family. Every time someone's died, his brother acts like he's the one who's by their side and with them till the end, which is an absolute lie, because it's been my parents dealing with things like healthcare, memorial services, and whatnot. Even for my aunt, he gave a speech that he was with her. He lives in Cali and she lives in Jersey. Never once came to see her, only flew here for the service. Took all of the spotlight and made it about him and his perfect family. Wife from Harvard and perfect son to carry on the family name. Ugh, my blood boils when I think of him. My dad is a saint when it comes to people like him. Never gets mad or makes a fuss. I don't understand how they're related. Edit, jokes on my uncle. My grandparents or his or my father's parents are now dead as of this past month, and they liquidated everything to live comfortably at the nursing home they were at and had only a few years of money left. Not much to be distributed despite them being so well off. He tried to get some of the stuff in the house, but refused to pay for the shipping, so I got it. Regarding, fortunately my mom has retirement savings to help and I can comfortably cover the rest. I just wanted to say that if it's something you're buying for your mom, use her money first. This isn't because you're trying to drain her or unwilling to pay for things for her. It's for a number of legal reasons. If your mom does run out of money, she may qualify for government assistance programs that she wouldn't otherwise. If you spend her money on her first and she passes with an inheritance, that money will likely be split 4 ways between you and your siblings. All protests that a larger part of the money should go to you to cover the thousands of dollars you used out of your own pocket to provide for her care will fall on deaf ears. You don't want your siblings to profit at your expense. You may have to pay tax on her money to inherit it. Think of money in your pocket as after-tax money and monies in hers as pre-tax. Never buy anything with after-tax money if you can pay for it with pre-tax money. The extreme elderly are known for making poor decisions with money. The last thing you want to do is use most of your money to support her so she has a chunk of money in the bank, and then for her to fall for a scam or give it to a televangelist. Once she runs out of money, by all means, pay for her out of your pocket, but don't do that until she's out of her own money. My dad and his siblings learned this the hard way. They could have gotten so much more from my grandma if they had used her money first and not put money from them to help out into her account. OpenOffice and Word have invoice forms. I would not hesitate to try invoicing your siblings to share the costs related to your mom. In the event that they don't help financially, keep detailed records of your costs and reimburse yourself out of the estate. Your mom's home health might be eligible for Medicare coverage. A social worker can help you get the assistance covered as much as possible by the state. I wish this was a top comment. I am paid through Medicare myself, and a lot of people are eligible for free or discounted home help. Yeah, I've seen this happen when I worked in the nursing home. The adult child who is child-free ends up taking care of the parents or making all the decisions. You wouldn't hear a peep from the other adult kids until the child-free caretaker decided to up mom or dad in hospice or withdraw medical intervention. Then all heck would break loose. The siblings not involved would fight to keep the parent alive even though nothing more can be done and the parent is in pain. Edit, you may want to look into legally being the one who makes the medical or financial decisions for your mom when she can no longer. That way you pretty much have the final say over your siblings. I'm a nurse's aide and this is a legit thing. Have a resident who had a DNR for years until the eldest child became the POA. Evidently, it's perfectly legal to change someone from a DNR to a full code once you're in charge of dad's money and legal matters. My wife worries about this too. We are child-free and are taking care of her folks. She wonders if we shouldn't have kids to have someone help us when we are older, because what if her parents didn't have us? Well, she has 3 siblings that don't do anything. If 1/4 is the help rate of kids, I don't really like those odds. That, and if y'all don't spend all your money on kids, you can save or invest it so that when you get old, you can just pay someone to take care of you. Seems easier and probably cheaper. Aside from the ethics of having kids to be your future carers, why not just invest and save for a professional carer who will know what they're doing?